So, hello everybody, and good. How do I say? It's almost midnight. Yeah. So we can say here. So good, almost good midnight here right now. But for the sake of simplicity, let's just say good morning. Sorry, what do I say? Good evening from Sarawak, from Borneo. So today it's 11:23 p.m. here on 9 of May 2026. So it's Tuesday, and yeah, it's going to be that time. Oh, and hello Matt. Hi. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Hello. Welcome. And yeah, today looks like we will go live right now soon. And as you know from the title, this is actually, why do I even say too much filter here? Okay, I'll try my best here. Let's reduce it from now on. We are going to watch the NASA's Artemis III through announcement, where these four astronauts will be revealed for today. And yeah, looks like I need to get a little bit slower just to get my output okay here. Okay, and I think I'm okay right now. So I mean, try imagine this. You're almost 2 weeks not even going live right now, so it's a bit harder just for me to get this moving on. But well, it's okay, it's fine. I guess while we are still waiting, I will go with a little bit of summary here. So let's go right now. So I hope that sounds good, and I will say again here. Hello everybody, I'm Daniel Suguwa. Uh, what? It's been a while, so forgive me if I stumble, because I don't know what I'm even talking about. So hello everybody, I'm Daniel Suguwa, your host today for the NASA's Artemis III through announcement, where these four astronauts will be announced. This one will be, let's just say, in terms of the mission similarities, it will be Artemis 3. It will be like what back in the day Apollo 9 mission would be. While if we see on this previous, let's just say around 2 months ago, that one is actually analogous to the Apollo 8 missions. Or if we have to include just a little bit with the the realized mission profile of the Apollo 13, the failed moon landing and attempt, and instead becomes a flyby that unintentionally became the furthest ever human ever travel from the Earth to the other interplanetary body systems, and especially the satellite system. It would have been that as well. So up until then, it was Apollo 13 and also Apollo 8 mission analogous. But now for this Artemis 3 mission, this will be largely going to the low Earth orbit around 480 kilometers. If I remember correctly, that one is just 80 kilometers higher than the International Space Station ISS. So in this mission, this will largely going to test out several more components, but the most important one is that there's going to be two spacecraft that will be tested out. The first one is the Starship, but if I remember correctly, that one is specifically the HLS version, the Human Landing System version. And also the second would be the Blue Moon Mark 1. Yeah, that one also. But as you know, or maybe some of you don't know, just to give you a little bit quick update, what happened is that 2 days before the New Glenn rocket explosion, that which actually happens on the static flight firing test for the filter here. Okay, I will help myself again. Before that, it's basically NASA announced three companies that did this kind of stuff. Yeah, let me instead give you a bit here. I believe, yeah, this here. Let me show you before we go live. So this is basically what happens on the 27 or around 27 or 26. I believe this one 27 May 2026. This one 2 days before the unfortunate explosion that happens on the New Glenn rocket, specifically the first stage booster. That one is pretty new. It was actually called as it's necessary. That one is reference from the Interstellar, if I remember correctly. Unfortunately, exploded 2 days later. But 2 days before that, NASA did this kind of announcement with the moon base update. Yeah, including the Moonfall drones update as well. And then new moon rovers built by the Astrolab. And also another one, Lunar Outpost. That one is for the long-term humans presence on the moon. And you can see here. Okay, so this is basically in the nutshell how it looks like the first phase. Let's just say, assuming that Blue Origin can get over. Okay, looks like we have already go update. Okay, but I've already silenced that sound for now because it's going to be a huge copyright issue if I try to even open that up. So yeah, so this is basically in a nutshell. Let's just say assuming the Artemis the entire whole Artemis mission did not get any kinds of trouble and whatnot, this would be how it looks like. Okay, the first phase would be just to land and get all of that reading ups and running, similar to the Apollo missions looks like. But on the second phase, it will be until 2029 until 2032. The first initial moon-based operational capability will begin, and then later on the third phase. Why too much filler, but I'm trying my best. Okay, 2032 until beyond, the NASA should able to achieve semi-permanent crew presence. But this one not only just going to be NASA. This is, let's just say, sort of like how international space station also works. It's like international collaboration also going to work for this mission. So this will be it, and I'm not going to be that long. Okay, moon base perimeter. So this is basically how the drone looks like. Okay, looks like they're begin. Okay. Okay.
Success and failure will be measured in months, not years.
Okay. So I believe this should be good. Okay. So here we go. Here's the mission again. Hopefully this is okay. Okay. So should be good.
We're gonna get the job done.
As you can see, that's how the Artemis II missions looks like. And we are welcoming here. Okay, so let's watch how the announcement looks like here. So rather than wasting too much time, I will rather let them talking. So let's hear their announcement here.
We're about to unveil the agency's Artemis III mission and introduce you to the extraordinary crew who will lead humanity's next steps toward the moon.
Okay, should be good.
We will have several speakers providing updates on Artemis III mission profile, Artemis acceleration plans, and mission science. Get ready for an inside look at innovation, ambition, and the future of space exploration.
Let's
Without
go.
further ado, please join me in welcoming NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman.
Of course, Jared Isaacman, who've been here anyways. What do you expect?
Thank you, Vanessa. I am so grateful to be here with all of you as we discuss the Artemis program and announce the 4 astronauts who will undertake this very exciting mission. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the leadership of President Donald Trump, the incredible bipartisan support from Congress, our international partners, including the European Space Agency Director, General Josef Aschbacher, Italian Consul General Mauro Lorenzi, and the talent across all NASA centers and the most technologically advanced aerospace industry.
Okay, this is the opening speech so far by the Jared Isaacman, NASA's administrator, very recently.
Daring and inspiring and world-changing endeavor. We are returning to the moon, a grand adventure back to the lunar surface to build a moon base, and to do so for all of its scientific, its economic potential, and to master the skills for where we will inevitably go next. The incredible crew of Artemis II was just the beginning, and they did an absolutely outstanding job. As a test mission, they were the first to launch on the SLS rocket and test the Orion spacecraft. Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Koch, and Jeremy Hansen showed us the moon again, and they showed us the Earth again. They helped reinvigorate the world's interest in space exploration.
Yeah, so correct.
Now,
The
just
Artemis
as Mercury,
II.
Gemini, and Apollo crews that came before them, Artemis II will pass along all they have learned and hand the torch to Artemis III. Over the next year, they will train for their mission, ensure the lessons learned from the prior crew are implemented, and assist in the development of the landers and operational procedures that will be necessary for their colleagues on future Artemis missions. Artemis III will be an extraordinary demonstration of what is possible when the greatest aerospace companies across the United States, alongside our European partners, come together to showcase the technological might and ambition of the free world. When their training and development are complete, these 4 astronauts will strap into their spacecraft. You will witness the contributions of Boeing, United Launch Alliance, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, L3Harris, and Airbus, and many others.
I think maybe some of you already got this idea. Orion spacecraft, and also the Centaur 5 for the SLS Block 1 standardized, basically.
Throughout the duration of the Artemis III mission, these astronauts will continue to test the Orion spacecraft. They will rendezvous and dock with the Blue Origin lander, and then
Yeah,
again
with the Blue
SpaceX
Moon
lander.
for the
Think
Blue
about how
Origin
many
and the
spacecraft,
SpaceX
all of which will
for
eventually
their
carry human beings, will be in orbit at the
HLS
same
version
time.
of
From
the
Dragon,
Starship.
Shenzhou, Soyuz, possibly Starliner, Starship, and Blue Origin landers. This seems like the beginning of the future that we imagined as children. This seems like the very beginning of
Shenzhou,
Earth's
seriously,
first Starfleet.
they mention it.
We
Oh,
will use Artemis
that
3
was
to
a
get into the rhythm of
very
multi-launch campaigns,
interesting
test the
wording here,
interoperability across several
because
systems, while,
for
close
some
to
of you
home,
need to
learn
know
and
some
improve,
kind
and
of
inform the changes
context here.
necessary
NASA
when the
basically
torch will be
doesn't
passed
have
once again.
official,
Now, preparations for Artemis III are already underway.
let's
The
just say
NASA
official
team, our
diplomatic
contractors, and our
stuff with
partners will
the
start stacking SLS this summer with
CMSA,
the aim of beginning
with the
early
Chinese
retest
Manned
testing
Space
before the end
Agency,
of the year.
especially
The
since
interested
the
public will be able to follow
Long
along
March
through all the
3B
key NASA
first flight
milestones,
fiasco
along
with
Blue
the
Origin and
Intelsat
SpaceX as they launch uncrewed tests of the
708,
reusable rockets, gather data,
but looks like
implement
they
improvements,
slightly opening
and
by
converge
now.
upon the Artemis
But
3
who knows?
readiness no earlier than
Let's
this
see
time
here.
next year. In parallel, we will not slow down. The expectation of your NASA should be that we can pursue and achieve many extraordinary objectives at once. In a matter of weeks, we will host another moon-based event. To set expectations, we plan to issue awards and provide updates routinely. In the not-too-distant future, we will be tuning in on the Moonbase website, watching landers and rovers and moonfall hopper drones and other tech demonstrations and science payloads landing on a near monthly
Okay,
basis.
so looks
as
like
we
another
practice the science of survival on the
moon-based
lunar
update
surface.
next week.
Alongside industry and
This
our
is
Artemis
following
Accords
the
partners, we will
Blue
experiment
Origin's
with power,
New Glenn
navigation, surface
rocket
mobility,
explosion.
communications,
So
and other critical systems
pretty
as
makes
we
sense
learn
why they need
what
to do
does
another
and does
update
not
here.
work in the extreme environment of the lunar South Pole. Now, coming up later this summer, America's next great exploration asset, the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope, will launch and venture out nearly 1 million miles into space with the aim of further unlocking the secrets of the universe And there are further big science missions like Near-Earth Object
Yeah,
Surveyor,
the Nancy
Rosalind
Grace
Franklin, and
Roman
Dragonfly coming up
Space
on deck.
Telescope.
Now, to realize
This
this
one will be
spacefaring
launched
future,
at
we
the
will work
earliest will
tirelessly
be
to ignite an
30
orbital and someday,
August
perhaps even a lunar
2026
economy, working alongside
on
the
board
industry to
the
usher in the first
Falcon
commercial
Heavy
space
rocket
stations. In the
by
months ahead, we will
SpaceX, of
invest in
course.
high-temperature materials, power conversion, radiators, advanced space structures, and assemble the first fission-powered interplanetary spacecraft. Before the end of 2028, we will launch the first mission of what should be many more to follow as SR-1 Freedom finally gets America underway on nuclear power in space and delivers the Skyfall payload to Mars. The X-59 team
Okay,
has already
very
passed the
interesting
sound
remark
barrier,
as well.
and we are
You
well
know
on our way
about
to rebuilding the
the
X-plane
Freedom
portfolio with greater investment in
SR-1
faster and higher
Space Reactor 1.
capabilities as we aim to blur the line
Basically, if I
between in
remember
and out of
correctly,
atmospheric flight.
the
As
is
I've said many
basically
times, your
nuclear
NASA
powered.
team will not sit on the
That's
sidelines
powering
and wait
up
for all
also
these exciting
all of these
initiatives to be
important
realized.
components as
We are
well,
embedding SMEs across the supply
including
chain,
the
doing
ion
the kind of
thruster.
engineering
So
and
very
building
interesting as well.
necessary to deliver the outcomes only NASA is capable of achieving. We can do this all while the Artemis III crew prepare for and undertake their important mission, while the rest of the astronaut corps plan for their missions ahead, including the vital work on the International Space Station. The NASA astronauts, alongside our international partners and tens of thousands of the best and brightest across the agency and industry, are ushering in the golden age of discovery. They are carrying forward the hopes and dreams of the next generation, just as the Apollo astronauts did for so many of us. When Gene Cernan left the lunar surface on Apollo 17, he said, "We leave as we came, and God willing, we shall return with peace and hope for all mankind." Now, it's taken a little bit longer than he may have imagined, but we are returning, and we do so with the experience of Apollo, the lessons of Artemis II, the crew now of Artemis III, and the promise of what lies ahead, and our collective effort to build out humanity's first outpost on another world. So to the Artemis III
Okay,
crew,
so
we
that's
wish you
another
Godspeed
one
on
we
the journey ahead.
hear
You
as
carry
well.
the fire of exploration from generations past, the confidence of this agency, and the support of this nation, and the dreams of millions who will be cheering you on, knowing that what others believe to be impossible happens to be what we do best here at NASA. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Artemis generation. And now I'll turn it over to Jeremy Parsons for an Artemis III update.
Okay, so looks like another update here as well. Let's hear from the opening remark here as well.
It's great to be here with you and to be part of the
Okay,
excitement as we
Jeremy
press forward
Parsons here.
towards Artemis III and our future missions to the lunar surface. Since adding the Artemis III test flight before our first crewed moon landing, our team is focused on developing the mission to test about as much as we can how we operate with our commercial partners across systems, teams, software, and hardware in the entirely difficult environment of space. We want to do this in Earth's orbit before we return to the moon and establish an enduring presence there. We demonstrated to the world during Artemis II that we can fly our astronauts around the moon and bring them home safely. The mission gave us insight into performance across all of our systems, how our teams operate together.
And this is correct, even though the Orion spacecraft, especially the re-entry, how do I say, the re-entry heat shield, it has some kind of major defect, especially after looking back. But fortunately, every crew with the Artemis II mission, especially with the Victor Glover, Jeremy Hansen, Christina Cook, and also Reed Wiseman, all of four of them able to go back to Earth very safely.
Highly choreographed operations with our partners across hardware, interfaces, software, propulsion systems, and life support elements, with crew in the high-stakes space environment. Are we able to launch in sequence with our partners across multiple launch pads and meet up at precise points in space? How do our spacecraft designed and built across NASA and different partners operate together in an integrated way in an unforgiving environment? We will learn how to fly these new spacecraft with new software, new life support systems. Every aspect of Artemis III will give us insight into how to refine our plans for Artemis IV and beyond and buy down risk. The mission, together with the uncrewed lander demonstrations to the moon, is specifically designed and targeted to the most significant risk for a lunar landing. We have many partners involved in making Artemis III successful, and while we recognize there are questions about how Blue Origin's recent anomaly impacts our plans, setbacks are a learning opportunity. We are confident that New Glenn will be ready for Artemis III, together with Blue Origin, but NASA is stepping in and bringing all of our expertise and capabilities to bear. We are working hand in hand with them to meet our commitments to return our nation to the moon. Let me assure you, NASA is taking an active role with all of our partners, contractors, and vendors to help solve the problems that are here today and ensure the right outcomes are achieved. These companies have unparalleled access not only to our agency experts, but also to our test facilities, launch support, technology development at all of the NASA centers across the country. Fundamentally, our approach to Artemis III will remain the same. We will use this mission to reduce risk for our future crewed moon missions with lander test articles from both Blue Origin and SpaceX to ensure we will beat China back to the moon. So we've talked about accelerating the Artemis cadence, and so I wanted to share with you a little about how the pieces of Artemis III are coming together. Our partners are
Okay,
making great
that's
progress
even
in
weird.
development.
Jared
SpaceX is
Isaacman,
racing forward with Starship
Isaacman
3
talking
Starship
about
demonstrated key aspects of their
Shinjo
architecture and lander designs, and they are already
spacecraft
applying those
from
lessons in their
China
next flight tests.
for
Blue
possible
Origin's Mark 1 lander
international
recently completed vacuum
international
testing at the Johnson
collaboration.
Space Center.
But
We have a training
Jeremy
pattern that's
Hans,
been set.
Jeremy
Astronauts are actively
Parsons
working
here,
through that training.
if I remember
The
correctly,
Orion crew module and its European-built service module are on track to be
talking
integrated
about
together
something
this
else.
summer,
That's weird.
including the new docking system, which will fly for the first time on
Yeah.
Artemis III.
Talk.
Our improved
Oh,
key
so
ship has
this
been
is it.
fully inspected
Okay,
and
another
is ready
one.
to be installed.
Let's see.
We are going to bring updated communication technologies to our missions, including adding optical communication to the spacecraft to improve our data exchange between Orion and the ground. We expect that to enhance what the public can see during the mission. SLS core stage processing is well underway inside the vehicle assembly building at Kennedy Space Center. It arrived there in April, and teams have already mated the 2 segments of the core stage and will install the 4 RS-25 engines later this summer. Design and fabrication of a spacer that will replace the upper stage on Artemis III, because we're flying in low Earth orbit, is already in fabrication at NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center in Alabama. And for the ground systems, when we talk about acceleration, one of the best examples I've seen is that just 17 days after the launch of Artemis II, the mobile launcher was back in the vehicle assembly building, well underway with refurbishment and preparations for stacking. Our teams are getting ready too. The launch team at Kennedy Space Center began conducting launch countdown simulations in May, which include practicing procedures to load propellant into SLS, as well as for launch countdown. At Johnson, mission segments are being simulated and crew training is well underway. Our spacesuit provider, Axiom Space, is making great progress as well. We have suit testing ongoing regularly at the Neutral Buoyancy Lab down the road here in Houston. Pressure garments worn under the suit are fully assembled and undergoing testing, and the components of the suit's primary life support system are in hand and being integrated. We are going to
Oh,
fly the spacesuit
okay,
aboard the International
okay.
Space Station to
That's
check it
interesting
out
as
in
well.
2027.
So
We will
they
perform
already
hardware interface
doing this kind
checkouts
of
on at least one lander in a spacesuit
launch
aboard Artemis
vehicle,
III.
aka the rocket preparation
Again, this
for
is an
the
area where NASA is taking an
SLS
active hand.
Block
We
1,
want to
but
accelerate
technically
these
could
deliveries,
be
this hardware,
without upper
and
stage.
we're
Maybe
embedding
we'll
NASA
see that
engineers
soon.
across the board with Axiom and
They
other
already
partners
prepared
in
it
order to meet
since,
schedules to the left.
and also with the
All of this
Orion spacecraft
culminates in a
since
mission where for
May
Artemis III, the hardware
last
is
month.
real, and we are
Yeah,
going to
why
begin
I'm
stacking
using
SLS
filler
and
again,
rocket
but it's
hardware
okay.
this summer.
And also
This fall, we plan to roll out the
the
shortened SLS stack with Orion on top.
spacesuit
We
and
plan to
the
test
pressure
improved
garment
cryogenic seals
apparently
and put
also
Orion suit
still
through their
in
paces, keep the training proficiency up.
on the
With an increased mission
process, and
cadence,
also
we're
with
doing
the
everything we can
astronauts
to ramp up
training.
production
Wow.
and drive supply chain improvements
Okay,
across the key
that's
components of
interesting.
Artemis and across the United States. We are also moving aggressively to implement modifications to Orion that enable a broader range of lunar missions after Artemis III. This includes looking how Orion can rendezvous in Earth orbit with Starship and use that ship to push Orion to a lunar orbit. So I shared where the hardware is, but let me talk a little bit more about what we expect Artemis III to look like. Artemis III is an incredibly exciting, complicated, and highly coordinated multi-launch campaign. It's going to happen in a short period of time with 3 of the world's most
Okay,
powerful rockets.
so let's see.
It will
Let's see
begin with the
how
launch of Blue
how's the
Origin's
new
lander test
updated
article,
mission of
which can
the
loiter up into
Artemis
space for up
3
to 90 days.
mission profile.
This gives us
Let's see.
flexibility to launch our crew of 4 and Orion on the powerful space launch system launched from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The crew will fly their journey in low Earth orbit on a circular trajectory around Earth. Orion and the Blue Origin lander design will rendezvous in space, spending about 2 days in docked operations, conducting test technology demonstrations, including inside of Blue Origin spacecraft. More importantly, we intend to dock, perform integrated stack control, have crew cross the hatch, operate the lander, and get critical test of the life support systems that can only be done in space. This gives our teams key information on systems the lunar lander crew will depend on in an environment close to home versus 4+ days away around the moon. After docked operations, Orion will detach and await Starship. SpaceX's Starship lander test article will launch and meet up with Orion and our crew. Orion and Starship will dock, be connected together for about a day before the crew transitions to preparations for returning home, splashing down in the Pacific Ocean to a waiting recovery team made up of the US Navy and NASA. In total, we expect the mission to last around 2 weeks. This mission is deliberately designed to take calculated risk so that future crews will be safer and ultimately successful when we put boots on the lunar surface. The complexity of our integrated operations across multiple launches, spacecraft, rendezvous, docking is greater in many ways than Artemis II. NASA, together with our partners, thrives in these challenging situations. Each of us are coming together for success. Human spaceflight is not for those who want to chart an easy course, but every decision we make about Artemis III will be informed about how it can help us ensure our mission success for the lunar surface. Artemis II reminded the world what we can do when we move together with clarity, discipline, and shared purpose. What the world saw was a successful mission. What we saw behind the scenes was years of coordination, planning, testing, problem solving, and collaboration with industry partners and government organizations. We are going to apply that same focus for Artemis III, and our teams are ready. To our crew, thank you for taking on this responsibility to train and fly for Artemis III. You have our commitment that we will do everything possible to keep you safe as you enable us to push the boundaries of space exploration. I'll now turn things over to John Caloris of Blue Origin.
Okay, so that's it that we hear in the nutshell. So apparently also, yeah, just like being said by the
Thank you. As you know, we had a
Jeremy
significant
Parsons,
anomaly at our launch complex
they're
Series
also going to
6A
test
on May
overall
28th.
the system of the
The response from
Starship,
NASA, our partners, and
HLS, and
customers has been
also
extraordinary. We're making excellent progress
and also
on the
Blue Moon as
investigation
well.
and pad cleanup.
Okay, that's
We'll
pretty
begin
interesting for
rebuilding
the
once cleanup
low
is
Earth orbit.
complete, while continuing construction at Launch
Okay,
Complex
so let's
36B.
hear in.
Blue Origin's lunar engineering and production teams are continuing the pace for production of Mark I landers for Moonbase and for Artemis vehicles, with multiple serial numbers in build. Mark I serial number 1 testing
Okay, so
will
this is the
conclude
animation, how it
soon
looks
and
like
will be
for
ready
the
for
rendezvous.
launch this year. The mission will demonstrate key components of our Artemis landers, such as our BE-7 engine. Artemis III is a major step that fills important objectives prior to our uncrewed landing on the moon in 2028, followed by
Oh,
our
okay,
landing of
that's
astronauts
interesting.
that same
There's
year.
also going to be
On this mission,
docking.
NASA and Blue Origin will
Okay,
demonstrate
very
rendezvous,
interesting.
docking, hatch operations,
Oh,
ingress,
yeah.
and life support systems
Oh,
in low Earth orbit.
yeah.
This
Also,
will allow
this
the
is like
crew to
the
gain
ground
familiarity
testing.
with our
All
lunar crew
right.
module and even practice operations such as suit donning
Okay.
in zero
Okay,
gravity.
interesting. Thruster
Manufacturing is
stuff
well
there.
underway on
The
the
Mark
Artemis
II.
III Mark II lunar crew module,
Yeah,
our storable
this
reaction
is Blue
control
Moon
system,
Mark
our
II,
docking
but
systems, and our
this one
environmental
is
control
the
and life
Blue
support
Moon
system.
Mark I.
Our
Yeah,
factories are running around-the-clock
this one is like
shifts in a
50%
responsible manner.
smaller than
Our
the
vertical integration
Mark II,
capabilities
if I
continue to
remember
produce
correctly.
hardware that feeds the production floor. We work very closely with NASA on engineering and testing support, with more to come. We expect to complete the vehicle for Artemis III and be ready for launch in 2027. Blue Origin is very motivated to be part of the journey of returning humans to the moon. We've redoubled our efforts and are moving forward. I'm thrilled that we're just moments away from announcing NASA's Artemis III crew. I'd like to also say that the
Yeah,
moon is the
so in
Earth
case you want to
continent,
know, this is John
and we will
Caloris
measure
from
ourselves not only by our
Blue
successes,
Origin
but
that's
how we
speaking right now.
respond to setbacks. With that, I'd like to introduce my friend Jessica Jensen from SpaceX.
All right. So right now, this is Jessica Jensen from SpaceX right now. I'm going
Good
to
morning,
give her a
everyone.
speech
I'm Jessica
after
Jensen.
after
On behalf
John
of SpaceX, I
Caloris
want to first
from
say early
Blue Origin.
congratulations to the astronauts who will get to fly on this awesome mission next year. And thank you for the critical role you're about to play in pushing humanity forward. I also want to say that SpaceX is incredibly honored, as always,
Okay, you
to
see
be a part
here.
of NASA's most
This
critical
one
missions
from the
as we
recently
all work
concluded
together to establish
Starship
a permanent
Super Heavy
human
version 3.
presence on the moon.
So, very
I'm
interesting.
here today
You
to
see
give an
there
update on
from the shot,
Starship's development
from
towards
this
Artemis
camera
3
shot here.
and Artemis IV. We've made substantial progress towards developing Starship and preparing for the NASA HLS missions. We just flew our 12th flight
Look
test
at that,
and successfully
look at
debuted
that.
version 3 or V3 of the Starship and Super Heavy booster, along with the new Raptor 3 engines and a new launch pad, all of which were developed through years of ground and flight testing. We are currently building several ships and boosters in parallel at Starbase, and we are actively building out 3 more
Okay, so
Starship
look
launch
at
pads in
that.
Florida and Texas.
This one is
We believe
two
this,
functional
combined with full reusability,
cameras
is going to
there
lead to unprecedented
of
launch rates
22
and
that
achieving
were
aircraft-like
dispersed
operations, which has always been our goal.
as the
The
Starlink
V3 design of Starship
version
is
3.
planned to be the vehicle for propellant transfer, our uncrewed missions to the
Okay,
moon,
okay,
and for
interesting,
the HLS crewed
interesting.
lunar landing.
You can see there.
Our HLS design and operations leverage years of proven experience from our NASA crew and cargo missions to the space station.
You can see
from our
the
high
first
flight
one is
rate
the
on
cargo
Falcon 9,
version.
which is
The
currently
second
once every
is,
2.5 days,
well, the
and
human
from
there.
reusability of Falcon
Third
fairings
is
and
the
boosters.
propellant transfer, if I remember
Additionally, the
correctly.
docking hardware
Yeah,
we're using for
propellant
HLS
transfer,
is
and
nearly
also for
identical to what we
the
use currently on Dragon. And
human
many of the
launch
rendezvous
system,
and proximity
HLS version,
sensors that we're going to use
and
for prop
the
transfer and HLS
right
have
side,
been
the
flying
most
on
right side,
Dragons for
the fourth
Dragon
one
missions for many
is the
years.
what it's
We're
supposed to
also
do
actively
to
building our first
land to the
flight
moon.
fidelity Starship
Okay.
HLS cabin at Starbase. The primary structure is assembled and prepared to be outfitted with key functional systems like avionics, power, life support systems, and more to come in the next few months. Later this year, we are targeting our in-space ship-to-ship propellant transfer demonstration. This is a core technology that will enable Starship to land humans
Propellant
and massive
transfer
amounts of cargo
technology
on the
here
moon.
for the
And
demonstration
next
mission.
year, we'll support
Right.
Artemis III and the planned
Okay.
rendezvous and docking
So
with Orion in
this
low
is
Earth
pretty
orbit. For that mission,
tricky
we're going to be using a
and
V3
also
vehicle off
highly
the
risky,
line
but
with an added
we
docking
will see
adapter.
how this mission will be
We're
going.
also marching
Hopefully,
towards
all
our V3
is good.
Starship uncrewed lunar landing. This is another HLS milestone that will further demonstrate propellant aggregation in space and also a safe and autonomous landing on the surface of the moon. Then looking ahead to Artemis IV, we're
Okay,
continuing to develop
for the
all the crewed
propellant
systems and
transfer
certification
mission and also
necessary
eventually
for
going
the
to the
safe
moon,
landing and return of
landing it
astronauts
back,
to Orion.
and then for
We have an updated plan with NASA
yeah, for
that
the
includes
Artemis
docking
4 mission,
Starship
they will be
with Orion
landing
in Earth orbit
using this
instead of
HLS
NRHO,
version here.
and then we use Starship to actually do the
Okay,
translunar
that's
injection with
pretty
Orion
interesting.
attached. Then it will send them both to low lunar orbit before the landing. This approach improves crew safety by first conducting the critical docking event in Earth orbit, just like we're going to practice in Artemis III. And the crew can also abort off the lunar surface nearly any time versus waiting up to days from NRHO. In addition to improving crew safety, these new Artemis IV orbits also significantly lower the amount of propellant Starship needs to aggregate in space, since we now just have a more direct route to the moon. And this lowers schedule risk overall. We're incredibly excited to help
So
return
they
humans to the moon
also
once
have
again,
the
and this
ability
time
to do
stay.
some kind of
Thank you.
semi-direct transfer to direct lunar translunar orbit injection, something like that. But it's just mostly semi, not 100%, but it's okay. Okay, looks like Dr. Nikki Fox, head of NASA Science, going to speak after after Jessica Jensen from SpaceX. So let's hear this one.
Artemis III will be all about Earth joy. We will be studying the route from Earth, and our Artemis III crew will be our mission scientists. Since Artemis III is a technical mission, the science we will be doing will look just a little bit different. We will study Earth's atmosphere, the environment around Orion during the mission, and the impact of space's influence within the Orion capsule. We're going to use this flight to buy down our risk for landed missions by developing our science processes,
All right.
procedures, and
So basically,
readiness
they're also going to
specifically for
test out
Orion to ensure
the
the health
scientific,
and safety of our
for
astronauts and
scientific
spacecraft
processes and
for our
procedures,
future
and even
Artemis
readiness for
missions.
the Orion,
And the best
apparently.
way to do it
Okay,
is
by
by
studying
taking
about
real
the
data
Earth's
that is
atmosphere
uniquely
stuff and
enabled
whatnot. They
by this
basically like
mission.
going to test the
For this
instrumentation as
technical
well
and complex mission,
in
we will
preparation for the
focus on how
lunar
we
mission
can
as well.
better work with the
Okay,
unique
that's pretty
Orion
interesting as well.
capsule and test and establish the necessary groundwork prior to landing on the mission with Artemis IV. With Artemis III, we will initiate the preparation phase of packing our interplanetary survival guide with the necessary knowledge, equipment, and roadmap needed to plant astronaut boots back on the lunar surface to stay. Think of it this way. If you're going on a road trip, you need to know before you go, ahead of time, and prepare with a game plan, not just for your destination, but for driving through all of the states in between. Weather. Will there be bad weather? Is your car ready
Okay,
for the
so
trip?
basically like
What do you need
an
to pack for
analogous
maximum
how
comfort?
it
And most
applies in
importantly,
real
will it
life,
all actually fit
especially
into the
with the
car?
trip planning on
Leading S&D's
where we
Artemis
go
III science
around.
team is
So
Dr. Barbara
that's how it
Cohen.
does.
Barbara's
Okay,
team
another
will be
filler again,
gathering the
what
necessary
I'm talking
information
about, but
now
it's
so
okay.
we can be ready for
I can
Artemis
reduce it again.
IV to begin that sustained presence on the lunar surface. Now, I know you all saw the joy of the science team during Artemis II. During Artemis III, we are continuing that great work to build up our scientist corps who will support future Artemis missions. By nailing down our processes now, we will be ready to hit the lunar surface running, saving time and space on Orion, and above all, squeezing out every drop of the critical science opportunities we have before us to make future missions a success. They will be collecting unique science that cannot be done elsewhere. Now, one way we'll be doing this is we'll be doing an observation campaign of the dynamic phenomena on the Earth, on our sun, and around the environment in space from Orion by using the processes that we developed for Artemis II. Having the Artemis III crew observe the Earth will be another
Oh,
great
that's
exercise for our
interesting.
teams to help
They are
guide the observations
so
in a
basically
similar way
they
on the
are
Moon.
deriving
These
from
methods
the
were
Artemis
adapted
II
from the crew Earth
scientific processes
observations
and
proven
whatnot.
already aboard
They
the
will apply
International
this
Space
for
Station.
the
We will be
Artemis
focused
III mission here,
particularly on
where they are going to
understanding
study
our Earth's
back of
atmosphere and
our
the
Earth,
space environment in
space
and
environment, and
around
also with
Orion
the sun
through
as
their
well.
observations.
They will
By
try
observing
re-verify
Earth's
this one more
atmosphere
time
and how
to see
space
if
weather
they can.
impacts it, we can better
Okay.
understand how to protect
Oh,
the
okay, okay,
critical
okay.
space-based
Earth's
technology there
atmosphere and
and all of that we
space weather
rely
as well.
on,
So basically,
as well as our
space
future
science
astronaut
and
crews
also Earth
traveling
science
through
as
that
well.
region.
That's very interesting.
To better
Yeah,
predict how the sun will
that's
impact
good.
our atmosphere and also Orion, we have to not only look at our closest star, but we also have to look back at the Earth's atmosphere itself. Although the astronauts are not leaving the protective jacket of Earth's magnetosphere during this mission, future Artemis crews traveling to and exploring on the Moon and Mars will operate well outside Earth's magnetosphere and will be exposed to the harshest elements of deep space, including radiation. Now,
Yeah, and this
makes
is
space weather
especially true
research all the
for
more
the
vital
Artemis
as we
II
move
recently
forward on
concluded
the
Artemis
Artemis
II mission.
program and our
Around,
NASA space weather
it's not
stations
around. What
situated
I'm
in
talking about.
strategic locations
2 months
across
ago.
our
So
solar system are
you
absolutely
understand it.
ready. When the sun triggers space weather events, the conditions in Earth's atmosphere can increase drag on the spacecraft. Now, this friction-like force
Yes, this is
pushes
actually
back
true.
against the vehicle, gradually draining its orbital energy and causing it to lose altitude over time, a process that we call orbital decay.
Yes, this is true as
drag
well.
is highly sensitive to
And
solar
because of
activity.
this,
So
the
by
thrusters need to
analyzing
be fired
atmospheric
constantly
behavior, we
in
can
order
gain
to
insight
maintain
into
not
different
only the
conditions
orbital
by
velocity
looking
but
at how the
also
atmosphere
to maintain
slows Orion
maintain
down
the
at different points
altitude
in its flight.
where the spacecraft is
Understanding the environment outside Orion will
surrounding
also
around the
inform us
Earth.
of what
So
future
that's why
science
very
instruments
important
we could put on
to
the
readjust
outside
it
of that vehicle.
from time to time,
We're
but
also using our
it's
ground-based
also
assets across the
a
world
bit
to look at
hard
Orion in
to
low Earth
properly
orbit.
use it
And this
all
is
the
an
time because
opportunity
you are
that was
going
not
to
possible during the Artemis
exhaust
II
all of
mission
this
due to the very
fuel
quick
before
time
you
they
can
spent
finally
in Leo.
do this mission fully.
We are
That's
also
basically in the
characterizing
nutshell.
the Orion capsule itself. We are going to initiate processes for Artemis contamination control and contamination knowledge by bringing samples out of Orion back to curation so we can identify and evaluate the environment within for our astronaut crew and for our future lunar samples. This will help us remove
Oh,
any
so they are
background
going to
noise that
collect
may
the
return with our
sample
lunar
from
samples, so we can
outside of their
subtract it out of
Orion
the
spacecraft. Okay,
characterization of the
to
samples
check
and really get
how
to the
many
core of what they are.
contamination that can
We will be
occur
doing
as
all
well
of this while also
during the
studying
whole
how
mission,
our crew
especially for the
safely live
future
and
Artemis
operate in
mission as well,
space and within
Artemis
the Orion
4 and
capsule,
beyond.
thereby
All right.
ensuring future mission success. Now, we're still at the beginning with our planning for science, so stay tuned as there will be more exciting science yet to ride along with
Okay,
Artemis III.
so for the
I
science
am
mission
extremely excited
of
for
the
NASA to
Artemis
build
3
upon the
mission,
success of Artemis II and then
still a lot
Artemis
need
III
to be
and
packed
to
up.
explore
Not
more
so
of the
this
moon,
is
to build that
considered as
sustained
the
presence
preliminary.
and to build
Very
our moon
interesting.
base to prepare for the next giant leap, human exploration of Mars. All while we lead the world doing paradigm-shifting science. At NASA, science enables exploration, and exploration enables science. And NASA Science is honored to take our part in the Artemis generation. And with that, I am delighted to hand it back to Administrator Isaacman.
Okay, so that's what we hear so far. So far, so good.
Okay. So you want to find out who the astronauts are?
Okay, so let's look at this.
Well,
The
thank you,
reveal is
Jeremy,
going to be
John,
very
Jessica,
near.
and Nikki for providing these incredible updates.
Okay, let's see
Now,
who's the
before we
astronauts for
proceed, I would
who these
like to,
four
I
astronauts
would
for
like to
the
invite Vanessa,
Artemis 3
our
mission.
center director here, to please join me on the stage.
So
and
let's
also
see.
like our deputy administrator,
Let's see.
Matt
And
Anderson,
let's
if you
watch.
could join us, our associate administrator, Amit Trushia, director general of the European Space Agency, Josef Aschbacher, and Lori Glaze, who's going to lead our human spaceflight efforts, Norm Knight, our flight operations director, and Scott Tingle, our chief astronaut. If you would, please join us on the stage.
All right, so looks like this one. So I guess it's revealed. Let's see, or almost here. Yeah, I think this is almost. Let's see. Yeah,
Wow.
get ready.
Alongside the prime crew, we have a backup crew member who will train
Oh,
shoulder to
okay,
shoulder with
okay.
them to
Prime
ensure
crew.
mission readiness
So
and continuity.
next will be the
Test pilot,
backup crew.
Air Force Colonel, and former SpaceX Crew 4 pilot stands ready to join the team if necessary. Artemis III backup crew member, Bob Hines.
Oh, right. Very interesting. This is the backup crew member, Bob Hines. Okay. 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 Very interesting to hear. Let's see.
Now, Bob
Who's
has
another one?
logged 170 days in space across 2 ISS expeditions and can step into any role needed on this mission. Now, moving on to our mission specialist for Artemis III.
Yeah.
Test engineer and Coast Guard Reserve Commander, making his first space flight, mission specialist Andre Douglas.
Okay, so looks like Andre Douglas is the mission commander for this or mission specialist for this mission as well. Artemis 3 here. So This is good, and this will be his first space flight. Very interesting here. So this is the first one that we got so far. Let's see who's the second on the primary mission.
And we have Army Black Hawk helicopter pilot, family medicine physician, and record-setting astronaut, mission specialist, Colonel Frank Rubio.
Okay, mission specialist. Yeah, this one correct. For this mission specialist, it will be Colonel. Oh, okay. So basically, Frank Rubio will be for this mission. All right. This one will be the. Yeah. So interesting there. Okay.
Now on to our pilot, two-time flyer, ESA astronaut, the first Italian space station commander, an Italian Air Force colonel and test pilot.
Okay,
Luca
for the
Prontano.
mission pilot here. Okay, that's very interesting. Looks like. Okay, so looks like this is going to be his first spaceflight mission. Luca Parmitano. Okay, apparently. Very interesting as well. Let's look here. You can see this is the third being announced for this mission. And we are going to see who's the fourth here. And right now, this is so he's from Italy. Yeah, he's from Italy. So this is as speculated before. Looks
Now to our
like
commander,
we are a bit correct here.
two-time astronaut, former
Okay,
space
mission
station
commander,
commander,
apparently.
Marine Corps colonel, and test pilot with more than 7,000 flight hours, Artemis III commander, Randy Bresnik.
Okay, so this is the mission commander for this mission for the Artemis III, Randy Bresnik. All right. Okay, that's a very great first impression as well. I mean, every astronauts here, they all have very equal, impressionable first impression. Yeah, what I'm even talking about. That's weird, but you get what I'm talking about, right? So it's all fine. So out of this mission, only look
All
up
right, let's give
Par,
one more round of applause for your Artemis III prime
Parmatino,
crew.
if I remember, or Parmitano. Sorry, look up Parmatino. Only him, not from the US here so far for this mission. Okay, basically non-American as well, but it's okay. Yeah, it's like it's fine, you know. Very interesting. So it looks like we have another photo of mission for these 4 astronauts. Okay, that's very interesting. We can include as well. Okay, so it's good. You can say it's quite analogous to the previous mission as well with the Artemis II, where at least 1 out of 4 astronauts would be non-American. So that's
Randy,
that.
Luca, Frank, and Andre.
Interesting.
I am excited to welcome you as the next crew in the Artemis journey.
Okay, so this is
successfully return to
Norm
the
Knight,
moon, this
NASA
time
Flight
to
Operations
stay.
Director, speaking
This
right now.
mission will be one of the most complex that NASA has undertaken, and we are counting on your courage and your dedication in fulfilling this critical role. It also underscores the importance of both international and commercial collaboration. This crew is comprised of astronauts from NASA and ESA, and they will train together to develop their expertise in multiple
Yeah,
spacecraft from
NASA
our
and
commercial
ESA,
partners.
and also
All
slash
of this while working hand in
ASI,
hand with the flight
the
control
Italian
team
Space
that
Agency,
works tirelessly to manage risk, ensure
ESA,
crew safety,
European Space
and of
Agency,
course, mission success.
and NASA. Obviously, you already know,
This
but
multifaceted
just in case you don't know
integration
what NASA stands
demonstrates
for,
that
it's
we will go farther
National
faster when we
Aeronautic
go
and
together.
Space Administration.
As the Director of Flight Operations, I have the opportunity to get to know every astronaut as well as many of the team members that support our missions and other critical integral roles. These integrated teams are the backbone of the mission, working as a single entity to accomplish the mission objectives while aligning to crew and vehicle safety. I would also like to thank the families of our astronauts and those of our team members who provide the support that allow us to accomplish these ambitious
Yeah,
goals
and
for
also
our
because they
country
finally
and
revealed the
humanity.
mission, who's
To
the
simply
crew,
say, I
I
am
think
encouraged,
maybe it's
I'm
fair for me
inspired,
to
and I'm
update
filled with hope
the
when I
thumbnail
think of
after
this
this,
mission and the teams
after the stream.
associated with
So
it.
expect changes
To the Artemis III
to this
crew,
to the thumbnail
each of you
after
possess
this
a
stream.
unique
It's not
background,
going to be that long,
and your
or
vast experience
probably
and unwavering dedication to
we'll see.
NASA's mission
As
enables you
soon
to
as the
help make
first
us
photo of
and take this next great step in
photos
space exploration.
finally available
I
to
am
be
proud to work
downloaded,
alongside you as
I
we
will
make our
change it
mark on
as soon as
history.
possible,
This
whenever I
mission
can.
begins now,
We'll see.
and it will conclude with your safe return to Houston, where you will be reunited with your families. Now, I'm honored to turn it over to Mission Specialist Andre Douglas.
Okay, so let's see. Douglas, the mission specialist for this Artemis III mission.
What an amazing day it is today.
Of the crew,
brain, it
looks
is
like
going a
he's
mile a minute
talking right
right now, but my
Let's
heart,
listen in.
it is so warm. It is so full. And I can't thank everybody who's been along with my journey, but I got a few tonight I got to give a shout out to. So, Mom, thank you so much for believing in me. This whole time, all these years, you prayed for me, you thought about me, and I always appreciate that. And Dad, that work ethic that you showed, I was trying to emulate you.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
that's a very
Oh, by the way,
that's
happy
a very
early Father's
touching
Day.
speech from him. I like this. Seriously.
And to Rachel, my lovely wife, thank you, babe. The support you've given is unwavering. It has been a lot. What a journey. I'm so glad you're on this journey with us. It's just amazing. You're amazing. Couldn't have done it without you. I love you so much.
All right.
And to my boys, if you put in the hard work and you think big, you can do just about anything you want to do. Surround yourself with good people. You can do this. You can do whatever you want. You just got to try hard. All right? So, I don't have enough time to go through everybody out there, but we really appreciate you guys supporting us. This mission is going to be fantastic. What an excellent crew. Very proud to serve with these gentlemen. Very fine crew. And go Artemis, go NASA.
Yeah. Yeah. That's nice.
Thanks, Dre. Well said. And wow is the right word. What an incredible blessing.
Okay,
and
so
an honor it is to be standing
next-
here representing all of you. And I'd just like to take a quick second to say thank you.
Okay, so
First
next
and
here,
foremost to my
Frank
wife and
Rubio,
our four
the
amazing
Artemis
kids.
III mission specialist.
Thank you for
Let's
your sense
listen
of
in.
adventure and your resiliency. You guys have made all of this possible. To our to our community of friends and family who've always been there when we most needed them. We've called upon them many times, and they've always stepped up. So thank you guys. You know who you are. And then last but absolutely not least is to the NASA team, NASA community, to our leadership, to our engineers, our flight controllers, our flight directors. You guys are the ones that make this happen. So thank you. And last but definitely not least is to our peers, CB, and all the support staff that we have. We look forward to representing you guys and to helping take the next step so that we can watch you guys continue to make history. So thank you, and go Artemis III.
Yeah, so that's basically it from Frank Rubio, and now we are listening from Luca.
In advance if I get emotional.
Okay,
I'm
from Luca
honored by
Parmitano,
the role that I've been given.
Artemis
I'm also very
3.
humbled by the task
Yeah,
conferred to
Artemis
us.
3 pilot for this mission.
But first and foremost, I'm grateful. There are many parts that need to come together for a space launch, and you need a launch pad. And for me, that launch pad is my country, Italy, its education system, the Italian Air Force that gave me the professional tools to bring me here today, the Italian Space Agency that gave me the first flight to put those skills to proof, and for that I'm very grateful. The European Space Agency is like a launch tower, connecting these two worlds, building bridges, its very nature is to build relationships and building bridges, connections, and to elevate individuals to achieve their full potential. The rocket, figuratively and literally, is NASA. I'm grateful that NASA has allowed me to be part of this incredible group of people, of this crew, and for letting me fly. But we wouldn't be going anywhere without fuel, and the fuel that lets everything move is right here. Maya, Sarah, Marta, my extended family here in the crowd. You are the energy that feeds my soul. And your love is the spark that ignites every passion. Thank you. Grazie.
All right. So he's extending his gratefulness to his family as well. So yeah, that's pretty makes sense in a nutshell. Why I'm using too much filler here, but it's okay.
Wow. It is
Fortunately, it's not yet rocket launch, but it's okay. And let's listen in from the Randy Bresnik, Artemis 3,
without their support
Artemis 3 mission, Artemis 3 commander for here right now. Let's listen in.
To my wife Rebecca, your love of my life, my rock, thank you. And it's the
Okay, so extending his gratefulness as well to his
It
wife.
is their support of our families that's going to carry forward from today when we start training very soon. Carry us all the way to when we launch off Earth until we are returned to them safely after splashdown back here on planet Earth. Would also like to thank the Astronaut Office leadership, Flight Operations Directorate, and the NASA Johnson Space Center leadership for the opportunity to represent the astronaut corps and every single person in NASA, ESA, our industry partners, our international partners, whose blood, sweat, and tears, okay, hopefully not blood, and very few tears,
Oh,
but
okay,
their
okay.
collective effort
Hopefully,
will
just
lift all of
tears,
us up
tears and
on
energy,
that
not
SLS
blood,
rocket
because
when
well,
we hit launch
blood
off
is
and
very
carry us
bad
through the mission.
for this kind
We'd
of
also like
mission.
to thank
Yeah,
NASA
why I'm
leadership
saying
and our
again.
ESA
Okay,
leadership
at this I'm
for the
being very
opportunity to
aware,
represent
but it's okay.
all of
Let's
humanity
listen in.
from this spaceship Earth that we will carry forward into the Artemis as we execute this Artemis mission, extending human spaceflight into the future and exploring the cosmos. Now, spaceflight is hard, and that's why the most important Artemis mission will always be the next Artemis mission, where we are doing flight tests on every single flight, incrementally determining the flight envelope, expanding it, proving out capabilities, and making the operational procedures that we have more and more precise. Because every single mission we will do after this will be more challenging and more complex. We are certainly humbled as a crew to be able to be your crew that executes this Artemis III mission in space, being that unifying link between the phenomenal Artemis II mission we just had 2 months ago and the Artemis IV mission that will follow ours, where we will again be the first to land humans on another celestial body, that celestial body being our neighbor in the sky at night, the moon. Thank you.
Okay, and that's also another interesting one as well. And that's what we want to hear in the nutshell. Yeah.
In the words of the crew, wow.
Okay.
That was
Okay.
truly
Okay.
special. Thank you, Artemis III crew. Hearing from each of you has inspired everyone supporting this mission across the
Okay.
globe. We're
Nice.
all in. This mission is going to captivate the world and bring us Earth joy. Let's look ahead at what's in store for Artemis III.
Okay, so this is should be the mission profile here. Let's see for the Artemis 3 mission. Okay, low Earth orbit mission, 480 kilometers. And yes, as we're also speaking right now, all of these SLS rocket stacking are currently ongoing, including the Orion spacecraft integration as well, and testing and whatnot. You can see. Yeah, how the docking will be like. And you can see it's still standing there. Yeah. So you can see these four astronauts in question. And this one is from the Artemis II mission. This one is from the New Glenn mission, and also this one is from the Starship mission, especially from the recently concluding, and also the Artemis II. You can see launch escape system firing, and then including the fairing separation, and then stage 2, or basically the ICPS upper stage separation, and also the jettisoning of the Orion spacecraft from the Orion service module in preparation to go landing back, and then eventually they are back again. So that's basically in the nutshell. Very interesting.
Another wow. Artemis brings us together, uniting partners from around the world in pursuit of a common goal. With that spirit of global collaboration, I would now like to invite ESA Director General Josef Aschbacher back on stage for a few remarks.
Okay, ESA Director General, European Space Agency Director General here. Okay, so let's listen
what an
in.
atmosphere, what a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, days like this do not come
Okay,
often.
Joseph
History is not something
Archbarcher
we remember, but
or
something
Archbacher.
we are about to
I don't know how
witness.
to
Just
properly
weeks ago,
pronounce it, but
at
either
NASA's
way,
Kennedy Space Center in
coincidence here.
Florida, I had the privilege of witnessing the launch of Artemis II. It was an unforgettable moment. Artemis III will be a different mission, but no less remarkable. Before anyone sets foot on the moon, someone has to make that possible. That responsibility now rests first and foremost with NASA, but also
All right,
with the crew
nice.
we are honoring today. The crew will test what has never been tested at this level. You will take a system of extraordinary complexity and make it work as one. In many ways, you are unlocking the lunar landing itself. And for us at ESA, there is real pride in knowing that alongside the NASA commander, a European astronaut will also be at the controls of this mission. ESA and NASA do more than cooperate. We build dreams and spacecraft together. The European service module carries Orion forward into orbit to the moon. Shared ambition made tangible in hardware.
Yeah, also known as the European European Service Module. When I try to mention about the Orion Service Module, so that should cover as well.
A commander of the International Space Station, he has seen spaceflight from every angle that matters. Colonel in the Italian Air Force, combat ready, qualified, highly decorated, a proud father of 2 daughters. And he has been tested.
Ah,
in
nice.
his career,
Nice.
his helmet began to fill with water, a dangerous situation by any standard. He handled it with calm,
Oh, okay. So this is the one of the astronauts in question also that actually encountered that one of the danger situation about the spacesuit filled helmet with the water, but fortunately he survived. Wow, that's that's one of the craziest story of all time that I hear as well. Nice. I mean, at least he survived and he's alive for this Artemis III mission. So yeah, yeah, the Artemis Accord. And coincidentally, let's why do I say again? Okay, let's just say one of it is Malaysia. Malaysia is also part of the Artemis Accord, which is basically where I'm living, but very specifically, I'm also a Sarawakian, so from Sarawak as well. One of the 14 or 13 states right now, but we are more like a bit special kind of states. We are basically call ourselves as born in states. So yeah, not in the sense of oh nice, interesting. Not in the sense of ordinary states. It's like we are basically our own, but let's just say like one of the four entities that that's not only join, yeah, because that's not 100% correct, but also forming Federation of Malaysia at the same time before Singapore got kicked out in 1965. But yeah, all of this aside, let's listen in from the Ted Cruz, the U.S. Senate of Texas. Yeah, from Texas. So yeah.
Exploration and discovery. Under the leadership of Administrator Jared Isaacman, NASA is paving the way for humanity's return to the moon and beyond. As the chairman of the Senate Commerce Committee, I've been proud to author or co-author nearly every major piece of space legislation in the last 14 years. I've led the fight to advance the NASA Authorization Act and secured landmark investments in the Working Families Tax Cut Act to ensure the future of Artemis is bright, robust, and enduring. Now this crew, each of you, will turn those investments into reality. At a time of growing competition with China in space, this mission will strengthen America's leadership, expand our economy, and help secure a lasting American lunar presence. When America commits to a mission, we lead and we succeed. You will make our nation proud. Thank you for your commitment to this great nation's space program, and may God continue to bless the United States of America.
Hi, everybody.
Okay.
Congressman Brian Babin. Congratulations.
Okay, this is Chairman Brian Babin.
Mission of Artemis
okay.
II, your selection marks another historic milestone in America's return to deep space. Each Artemis mission builds upon the last one, and the mission ahead is a critical next step as we prepare to return humans to the lunar surface and lay the foundation for a sustained presence on the moon alongside our international partners. You're carrying forward a very proud tradition of exploration that stretches from Mercury on to Apollo and now to Artemis. Through your dedication, courage, and service, you will help open a new chapter in humanity's journey beyond Earth. As you begin preparing for this mission, please know that you have the support of the American people. We will be praying for your training, for your families, and for your success in the months ahead. I am deeply honored to play a small part in supporting America's space program. I'm very proud of each of you for answering the call to explore. May your mission inspire future generations to dream boldly, to dare greatly, and to carry the spirit of discovery farther.
So don't worry, just a little bit itchy
God bless
here.
you. Thank you.
For myself, but it's fine. Okay, but other than that, looks like
the story of human space exploration
this is from what we hear as well.
And the momentum carries forward as the spotlight turns to the remarkable crew assembled here today. Randy, Luca, Frank, And Andre, we have a special group of people who would like to share some words with each of you. Joining us now, we have some of the Artemis II crew. Please help me and welcome in Reed, Victor, and Christina.
Okay, Victor Glover and Christina Cook. Yeah, and also, I believe Reed Wiseman. Yeah, looks like it. Yeah, Reed Wiseman, Christina Cook, and also Victor Glover. They're here. Yeah, except Jeremy Hansen, because, of course, I believe he's back in Canada again for another possible assignment mission as well. So, not surprising why he's not here.
All right, Comrade Randy, Luca, Frank, our backup, Andre, Douglas. So good to see your family out there. So good to see all the families. On behalf of myself, Christina, Victor, and we all know Jeremy wishes he was going to be here today, that he could be here. We just want to say how completely fired up we are for you. I hope you saw us down there cheering, screaming as loud as we could. And Randy, in your comments, I really loved when you said that you all are the link from 2 to the surface. And that really resonated with me. And you guys know, because you work in the office, we've been carrying these batons around for way too long. And so with the 2 crew, Comrade, hands you the baton. You got the controls.
Oh, now handing those baton right now. Handing those baton. Passing from the Artemis II crew here to the Artemis III crew. So, looks like we have with a Space Olympics here going on again. if that's it.
I know all of us
If that's it.
very touched by the thoughtful symbolism of the passing of the baton. But I think now, after your mission, you're passing us something far greater. The world watched your mission. And over the course of those 10 days, we saw how you inspired people worldwide. You saw how something was ignited within people, it was ignited within all of us by watching your mission. While this may look like just a baton, right now it's in my hand, it feels like this big flaming, Olympic torch that you, Christina,
I'm not even surprised.
and Jeremy.
That's why I said Space Olympics, I guess.
was entranced by its flame for the 10 days of the mission. We, the Artemis III crew, are honored to be able to carry this torch forward, to be able to execute our mission, to make that flame burn brighter and pass it on.
Oh, yeah. That's it. That's it, everyone. Look at that. Don't you like it?
And be able to pass that flame on to the next crew that's out here. And so it is our distinct honor and privilege, and echoing the immortal words of Apollo 11's Michael Collins, to be carrying the fire through the next Artemis mission. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's why we like to hear it.
What an incredible moment. As we wrap up today's announcement, I'd like to thank our amazing speakers and our esteemed guests, and most of all, our Artemis III crew.
All right.
Randy,
Nice.
Luca,
Yeah.
and Andre.
Okay. Yeah. So in case you want to know, I do a little bit of adjustment of my volume, microphone volume. So hopefully this is fine. So this is the Artemis III crew here. 4 Artemis crew here. Randy Bresnik, Luca Parmat. Yeah, Luca Parmitano.
As you prepare to
Uh,
embark
and
on
also,
this
don't worry,
next giant leap,
I try to remember this
know
name.
we stand united,
Another
ready to
another two
support you
here
at
as
every
well
turn
because,
with mission
well, it takes time
excellence,
for me to
pushing
learn,
the
but,
boundaries of what's
well,
possible
it's
for the
okay.
benefit of all humanity. Let's give one final round of applause for our crew.
Oh yeah. So that's nice. That's nice. Okay, so looks like everything is ended here. Okay, and I hope this is fine. Okay, and please be note that I'm still currently still, how do I say, after quite sometimes I did not stream about this stuff. Yeah, and also thank you to NASA for the live stream, and that's why. And just to give you a little bit of reminder, if you hear some kind of weird sound inconsistency, especially from some of the loop audio, okay, and fortunately looks like I can reduce a bit of filter words, and this is pretty fortunate because this is not yet a live stream for the rocket launcher, so I still have a bit of time to adjust this kind of arrangement. So if you hear a bit of this slow wording here and there, this is pretty deliberate. Yeah, pretty deliberate. I really cannot speak too fast unless you can say a bit of edge case scenario, like you hear something like, oh, so that's why I believe it's something like that. Yeah, for that one is, for example, it's a little bit of edge case, but otherwise this is how I would like to talk to you from now on, so you're not going to hear too much something like that. That's something I would like to avoid as much as possible. And yes, I'm very acutely aware about this, about how I speak here. So this is one of the steps that I can do to reduce it. So hopefully all of these are fine. Okay, and meanwhile, yeah, before we end this stream, maybe let me continue again. What would I like to talk as well? Here, okay, for the moonfall, yeah, moonfall drones here. If I remember correctly, there's going to be 4 moonfall. Yeah, I acutely aware this again, but don't worry about the filter words. I'm trying to reduce it as much as possible. Okay, there's going to be 4 moonfall drones here. They will be deployed out of the sort of like a moon spacecraft rover. It will be detached, and then it's going to do its kind of respective research here and there. So this is how it looks like. Okay, and also this is the selections here that will be used for all of these 3 phases mission. The first one is the Blue Origin Moon Mark 1 lander. On the most left side there, and then on the second left is the Astrolab Root lunar rover. If I remember correctly, if I remember correctly, Blue Moon will either deploy this Astrolab Root lunar rover or the first right side, the lunar outpost Pegasus rover, between these two, it can either deploy either these two, okay, and then later on, and then with the Firefly Electra Dark Orbiter on the second right, you can see there that one is not based from the if I remember from the Blue Ghost lander. You can say it's pretty, how do I even want to say, it's not related much architecturally with the Blue Ghost lander, especially since we already hear that. So, and also already being used in few missions. So this should be completely new lunar orbiter, and also with the lander as well. Basically going to be a new architecture here and there. There's some lesson that they learned from the Blue Ghost lunar lander, of course, but otherwise most of it are pretty new. But I don't know, we might see. But again, this is before the updated one, 2 days before the New Glenn rocket explosion, especially for the first stage. No, it's necessary reference from the Interstellar. If I remember correctly, the first stage and the second stage are fully top off when they actually try to do the BE4 rocket engine testing when it exploded. But fortunately, by the time it prepares, especially for the supposedly inaugural flight of the Amazon Leo LN01, the LN really stands for Leo New Glenn. If I remember correctly, that one actually carries 48 satellites for the constellation. Fortunately, it's not on board the rocket itself. So even though the rocket exploded, everything actually safe. If I remember, even though on the hangar, if I remember, hangar integration site, which is located 600 meters away from the launch pad of the Launch Complex 36. Yeah, I'm very acutely aware my filter word here. Okay, this is very good sign. I really aware about this one. Okay, but just to get this rolling as well. Okay, Launch Complex 36 located in Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida, USA. Okay, from America, if you really want to know. Okay, that one's still in preparation, but fortunately the second stage, the newly built second stage, and even the first stage, especially for the yeah, I'm very aware as well, but it's okay. I can smoothen this out. If I remember, never tell me the odds. First stage, which at this point already flown 2 times. Okay, which is already flown which has already flown 2 times. Fortunately, looks like safe here and there, but of course, all of these stages need to be checked whether or not it's impacted by the internal shock, especially from the very huge blast from the shockwave, especially from the conflagration explosion type. So I think, yeah, especially because Lucas Gewon as well, or Gewon Lucas, he actually already posted this, not only from his Twitter, but also Twitter/X, but also from his Blue Sky as well, which I've already reposted as well. Okay, that one fortunately looks like kinda safe, but needs to be checked whether or not it's safe to go to flight, or maybe if there's some need to do some kind of modification before it's flying again. And from what I remember as well, the CEO of Blue Origin, David not David, it's Dave Limb. He actually says this as this follows of the statement, but from what I know is that he said that most of the part, even though some of the part, especially if you see from the previous explosion, okay, here I'm not going to repeat too much of the announcement, but if you see on the right side of the tower, that one is actually collapsed, but fortunately can be rebuilt, while on the left side that's practically damaged, but fortunately it can be repaired instead of need to rebuild it again. And for the propellant farm, whatever, even in ground equipments, looks like it's not highly too affected. That one also can be replaced and repaired pretty, I can say, relatively fast as well. And also, yeah, but aside of that, fortunately looks like if we can trust from the word, looks like the mission can still continue. Yeah, still can be continued as well. So, but for this updated timeline of this mission, especially from the, you can see this is the satellite image view, okay, other than from the helicopter as well. Okay, you can see this is how it looks like. Okay, you can see the left side collapse, or maybe the right side collapse, but the left side just barely hanging on. But however, fortunately the left side can be repaired relatively fast. The right side, well, it needs to be rebuilt again, but it should be good. But you can see, even the water farm tank, if you see, surprisingly it's still actually standing here despite the destruction. And that also definitely Lim also said that one also can be repaired. You can see ground infrastructure, for the most part, surprisingly it's pretty robust despite the explosion. And as you can see, if you see like a big rectangle there, that one is where all of these New Glenn rocket were integrated inside there as well. And for this mission, supposedly before this kind of explosion, of course, how do I say, Blue Origin, they supposedly want to do this transition pretty slowly from the transport erector integration to the FONOPS, the vertical integration style. But since this explosion, and also since you already see the transporter erector, it has already been destroyed in this flight, so they just decided, well, even though this is hard transition, they just straight away will just move into the vertical integration stuff, similar to how Atlas V, Vulcan, Centaur rocket, and especially with the Ariane 6, just to name a few, how it actually stack up one by one. And also, especially if you see the way on how SLS, the space launch system, being stacked up, that's basically how they are going to moving forward. Basically, they also learn a little bit from the method of SpaceX as well. Yeah, from the method of SpaceX regarding their Starship. So they decided, maybe it's better to just use that kind of vertical stacking method instead. I mean, for bigger rocket, yes, it does have that advantage. But if you have smaller rocket, transporter erector still looks like a way to go as well. And yeah, for the Artemis III mission, and especially for the moon base mission profile update, yeah, and also, especially when I mention, and also I need to mention as well, New Glenn rocket, they will try launch again before the end of the year of 2026. So we will see whether or not they might be able to go this one as well, because yeah, I hope it does not entirely affect the oh, I am saying Arian, not to be very confused with Arian rocket. Okay, with the Artemis mission. Hopefully, it's not going to affect too much because they really need to get this Artemis II missions going. You know, I mean, especially with how NASA already delay, even with the SpaceX and also Blue Origin equally. So it's time for them to catch up again after this kind of setback. Yeah, so this is like, and also with the speculation in here, whatnot, and of course we already knew who's the new, yeah, who's the crew here. So I think we might see. Okay. Ooh. Oh. Flashbang light. So let's see the. Okay, they still did not put it yet again, but it's okay. It's okay. I think they will update this soon as well for this article. So yeah. And that's it, everybody. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for watching alongside with me with the announcement, because I also equally don't know who's the astronauts behind the mission, but we already know Randy Bresnik, look up Parmitano, if I remember, also Andre, and also another one. Yeah, so sorry if I can't remember another two astronauts here as well, because this is still new information for me. I still need to absorb and take the time as well. So it is what it is. So it's very good as well, and very great time for me to test out my current setup. Yeah, current setup. So it's okay as well. And also I'm testing out the way of how I'm talking a bit slowly here, but that one is actually to give my own thought time to process everything else. But okay, but all of this aside, I can close that stuff here. Okay, so looks like for tomorrow mission, yeah, because right now it's 10 of May 2026, 10 May 2026 on Wednesday in Sarawak in Borneo. It's already midnight here, almost 1 a.m. here. So I'm going to end this stream soon. I don't know if Pet O will actually go live stream here, but let's just say in case he actually live stream this stuff, I will try go as well for this curveball mission. We don't know what's the mission's going to be. We don't even 100% sure where's the range mission will be going, but well, if there's any update, I will reveal on the live updates or whatnot. And not long after that, if we can trust these as well, okay, 3.5 hours later will be the Long March 5 launches. Okay, this one presumably we don't know what it's going to launch, but it can be either Chanfan, the Spacel Leo internet constellations, or the Guowang, the 1,000 cells internet constellation. Can be either these two. Okay, this one will be launching from the Wenchang space launch site, LC1 launch complex 1 in Hainan Island, China. Okay, for the curveball mission, that one is the, okay, apparently it's Electron. Is it it's either Electron or Hesty, but usually looking at this suborbital, of course it's Hesty. Hesty is basically like the suborbital version of the Electron rocket, basically designed for anything else. Let's just say it's the Sounding rocket version sounding rocket version of the orbital electron rocket, if that makes sense. And after the tomorrow, on Thursday, on 11 of June 2026, yeah, I don't know, I think I mispronounced 10 of May. Why I'm talking like that? Okay, I'm a little bit of weird here, so sorry. It's 10, today is 10 of June 2026, not 10 of May. What I'm talking about, even from earlier on, I think I mispronounced 9 of May 2026. It's 9 of June 2026. Oh my goodness, I got it wrong again, but it's okay. That's what makes me what makes behind this channel human. We do this unintentional mistake. It's okay. Oh, there's going to be the Spectrum rocket as well, huh? Let me see if I can get the schedule right. Okay. Looks like I can. Hopefully they can do that come stream for the Spectrum rocket by ESAR Aerospace, which will be launching from the Andoya Spaceport, okay, from Nordland, Norway. This one located around the Arctic area. Yeah, Arctic area. This one will be launching on 16 June 2026 on Tuesday, local time here. Okay, 4 a.m. Yeah, so I need to reserve my time. And also, the most important thing is, if we don't have any kind of problem on Friday, which will be 12 June 2026, this one will be launching the H330 test flight. Yeah, this one will be the maiden flight for the H3-30S rocket. S stands for short fairing. Okay, this one will be the only rocket variant of the H3 rocket that has three LE9 rocket engines on the first stage, instead of the typical two rocket engines for the rest of the variant. Yeah, so this is the only mission that has this one. If I remember correctly, they also contemplate on the idea that they need the solid rocket boosters on the both sides. It can be either 2 pairs or the 4 pairs of the SRB, the solid rocket boosters, but apparently they don't need this because according to the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, they've already looked at this kind of market research, and they found out that the customers usually would just go into raise their satellites orbit themselves anyways, and they don't need this kind of extra boost. So they decided, well, who cares, we are not going to develop the solid rocket booster version instead. So this one will be very interesting. You can say H330S would be considering, like, in terms of, how do I say, the Delta 4 kind of equivalent. This will actually puts around the Delta 4 medium kind of range capabilities. Yeah, while the rest, let's say for the H324L, like that one can be considered sort of like loosely Delta 4 medium plus something like that, and then the rest with the 22 variant, which will be the medium plus, something like that. Yeah, so it's basically that kind of equivalent, but I like to give a bit analogy, like the Delta 4 heavy, Delta 4 medium plus, and this one Delta 4 medium, the base design only. So this is how do I actually contemplate it. So this is pretty interesting. It will be the first time in very, very long time. I think historically in any of the JAXA history, they never launched this kind of orbital rocket, especially the liquid rocket booster, the LRB, without any kind of side boosters. So that's going to be the first time. But even though on the SRB side, that's not the first time, but LRB side, yes, this is going to be first time without any kind of attached SRBs, especially if you look back at the history with the N-1, yeah, N-1 rocket, nothing to do with the N-1 rocket from the Soviet Union back then, nothing to do with that. N-1 is basically like the Delta 2000, Delta 3000 license built copy version of the American version, but they basically improve it. Okay, similar. And then N-2, if I remember that, N-2 is basically where it's basically the final iteration of the N-1, and then eventually with the H-1, that one is the first, that one is the basically the last derivative out of the N1 and N2 version, but at the time the second stage were replaced with the hydrolox upper stage with the liquid oxygen, the oxidizer, and the liquid hydrogen, the fuel itself. That's why they call it H1 rocket. Basically the first built rocket ever that they make with the hydrogen built rocket stages. And then that's where it leads to the H2 rocket, and then eventually retired in favor of the H2A, and then branch out to H2B, and then this kind of culminative resultant of the development of the H2A and also H2B merged together into the H3 rocket series. And that's where we got this H3, first with the H322S, and then later on with the H322L as well if they want to, and then H324L or S as well if they want to, and then followed by the first time ever in the history of the liquid rocket booster powered rocket that's not going to be powered by any kind of solid rocket boosters. This one will be it, H330S. So we are going to see that soon. And also the reason why is that because on Friday, 12th June 2026, the weather conditions are much favorable, so they can try launch this one, and hopefully there's no more kind of delay anymore due to the weather condition. Yeah, but also hopefully they already properly test out the rocket components before they decided, yeah, we should fly. Okay, so that's pretty good. Okay, so that's it. I will try to update that my YouTube channel as soon as possible as well, with the important updates here and there, so everyone will get notice, even though it's just like a day before the rocket launches, at least 24 hours before that. I would rather just do that kind of stuff rather than doing like what I'm doing right now. Yeah, because this one, how do I say, partly because I'm already tired, and also partly because I'm lazy sometimes. So that's why I can be a bit last minute. And also I'm also testing out the way if the mics and whatnot working. And yeah, I'm also going to listen back to the stream. Yeah, how do I say, why I'm so saying using this filter word, but that's good, we can reduce it. Okay, so I will also going to listen back from the replay how this sounds actually looks like. Is the sound mixing okay or not? So because I would like to improve this further again, and especially because I already have some kind of benchmark where to test out. So yeah, I need to get this moving again. So expect some kind of iterative improvement. So stay tuned. We are going to see you guys back again soon. So thank you so much everybody for watching. I'm Daniel Suguwa, your host today for the NASA's Artemis III through announcement where these 4 astronauts has already been announced. So, and I will update on the thumbnail and also the description as soon as I can as possible. So stay tuned of that. So with that, this kind of thumbnail I will change as well. So please stay tuned, and thank you so much, everybody. Please take care and have a nice day. Bye. And also for what I'm saying okay, because I don't want to use too much filter word. I don't want to use too much filter word, so I try to control this. Okay, so we shall see you soon on the next stream. So thank you so much, everybody. See you soon. We will be back again. Bye bye, and take care, stay safe, and at least for myself and for us living in around the Asian region side, and also some from the Australasia, from Australia, New Zealand, and also Papua New Guinea area as well. So I say at least for us, good night and take care. And good night from Sarawak, from Borneo. Good night. We shall see you soon later on. Bye bye, and stay safe.